Hey guys, Aqua Duelist here. Today we're doing just broad discussion video on Aqua Madoor Turbo, not specifically my build, however, just over the deck in general. If you noticed yesterday's deck profile, I posted V1 in the title. That's version 1. I actually shot it about a week early, and have just been playing around with it and wanted to try some different things, and because the way the deck is, the actual core of the deck only takes up about 20 cards. Then you throw in the few staples that every deck has to have, and you're around 25 cards. So there's a good amount of just space you can do whatever you want with. And version 1, I essentially just threw in a bunch of good ideas I had of competitive cards and slapped that with the core and essentially just made a deck. It's not the best version. It's not a terrible version, but it's not the best version. But tomorrow I will be ordering the last little bit of cards and making version 2, which is so much better, I feel. But we're gonna jump into the actual discussion now. So for those of you who don't know, Aqua Madoor is the only normal level 4 water spellcaster monster, and he's from the original Yu-Gi-Oh era. Back when I was 4 or 5. This card is really old. He has two counterparts. One is a level 5 normal water spellcaster called Neo Aqua Madoor. Same guy. It's the same monster, just more of a amped up version, which they kind of did at the time. And he essentially has bit more bigger defense, slightly more attack boost. But he's a just defensive monster. Then you have Light Ray Matador, same monster, except just a recolor, and he's light. I honestly don't know what his effect does, but we're not here for Light Ray, we're here for Aqua Madoor. But I did want to let you guys know he does have two counterparts. So, essentially, this deck came into existence in about 2016. It was played at two events and topped. It topped at it didn't come first, but it topped at a YCS in, I believe the city's pronounced Bochum. And also topped at a regional in Altoona, I think is how the city's pronounced. Altooa. If I butchered those city names, I'm sorry. I've never actually tried pronouncing them before, but so that's how the deck kind of just showed up. And about right after that, it kind of just fell off the face of the earth. We never saw it again. No one consistently played it at all or anything. It was more like just a one-time, one-trick pony. And the reason why I say one-trick pony was what the deck did at the time is you just spammed a bunch of water monsters, made two Bahamut Sharks and two Totally Awesomes, and that's kind of what the deck did. Which now you can't really do that because of links. So, yes, this deck did get hit from links, but the deck also got more spam capability over the last 2 years. There's a lot more spamming with it, and with version 2, I do have a combo where it's a 1-card Zephyra Metaltron, and I can still keep going after that. So that's just how much spam potential this deck has. But one thing that makes this deck really unique is just the amount of options it has. It's actually really crazy. And it's also why I really enjoy this deck. And after playtesting, I realized just how much I really love this, love the deck. Just because I've never really seen a deck with just so many options. And it sucks because I wish the extra deck was bigger. Or, links didn't exist, because there would have been so much more this deck could have done, so many more things you could fit in, but essentially you have to lose some slots to links, and that does suck. I'm not gonna lie, but what can we do? But yeah, so this deck has just so much options, and you can't just fit it all into one build, which does kind of suck. But that gives you guys an idea of just how big of a bag of just I don't like toolbox like tools that this deck can utilize. It's crazy. And one of the things that I think one of the tools it has access to that I really want to point out is First of the Dragons. It wasn't in my first build, and I wanted to put it in badly, just because almost no deck has that utility, or has the utility to go into that monster, and I just couldn't really think of a way to really give the deck the little push it needs in order to go into it at the time, and now I do. So he is in my version 2 build. I'm just going to say that. And a lot of the cards just struggle against that. Struggle against that monster because he can only be destroyed by a normal monster, and effect monsters essentially can't touch him. So already right there, you have a really strong monster that no other deck really has access to. Like, that's amazing and that's awesome. And you can still do Bahamut, Shark, and Totally Awesome. It's just you can't spam two like you could before. But so you guys kind of have somewhat of an idea of what this deck can do. I mean, heck, you guys saw I even threw Naturia Beast in because you can easily make well, not super easily, but you can actually make Naturia Beast, and through my playtesting, I'm actually able to make him quite often turn 1. It's more like a half the time thing, which right now Naturia Beast actually just craps on Sky Strikers, which is topping a lot, topping more than it did last format, but so this deck definitely has options. And something else about this deck too that it makes it more unique is the actual core of the deck only is about 20 cards, and you run a few staples in every deck. Like you run Pod Desire, Soul Charge. You're around 25 cards. You have 15 slots to really do whatever with, which I feel like a lot of decks that are more archetype driven don't really have that amount of just space to just play with. Which is something else I like too, because this is something kind of like more older decks had. Looking at Dark Arm Dragon, like around that time, you essentially ran like 15 specific cards and then filled the other 25 with whatever you wanted. So this deck definitely has an appeal to old players like me. I absolutely love that stuff. It's awesome. So, I think that's kind of everything I wanted to just broadly talk about this deck. Tomorrow we're going to talk more about the deck core itself and why it works. I'm probably going to shoot the video in the style of the deck and the style of the deck profiles, but we're going to just go in depth on why it works, on why this stuff works. But thank you guys for watching this video. Hit that like button if you like this. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see if you want to watch more of my content. And make sure you hit that notification button if you do. This way you get notified when it comes out. And I will see you guys in tomorrow's video.